it's going down. I'm super ready for this. I went back to the doctor and have done all of my tests again. I've ordered sperm again, and I plan to do more videos on all of those details recently.
They probably choose the specific genetic traits that they want, and maybe these are the traits that they didn't find in their partners, because, again, if she was picky, she maybe didn't find the perfect guy that she wanted, or the guy at least didn't want to have a family with her, and the guys who were average looking were just not good enough for her, or the ones who didn't have the traits, perfect ones, that she wants. Again, I'm just assuming things here, but I've heard of a lot of stories like this. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, because how do you end up alone at 35?
Christmas, I ended up spending the holiday alone accidentally. I was supposed to fly home to see my family, but it was a really bad winter and flights were delayed, and so I didn't end up making it, and I spent the holiday alone, also by choice. I did have invitations to join friends, local friends, but I don't know, I just like being alone. So...
You like being alone? Is that why you're having a child? What is up with this denial?
It was Christmas, and I'm like by myself, just sitting there thinking, gosh, I want to have my own family so badly. I'm so ready to like create a big...
Okay, so you want to be alone, but you were dreaming about having a family at the same time. Makes a lot of sense. Of course nobody wants to be alone, come on.
Beautiful life for myself and my kids and whoever else wants to join along in the ride. I want to do a Christmas with my kids.
But you're not gonna be creating a happy life for your children by having an unnatural single mother sperm bank so-called family. The child is most likely going to be neglected and of course traumatized by growing up without daddy. Where is daddy? There's no father. It's just as unnatural as anything can get.
I made a fertility appointment the next day.
This is her channel now, In Pursuit of Solo Motherhood. And she actually had the child recently.
Job's done.
Just wanted to say a quick update. I had the baby. She's here. January 13th is her birthday. She was born at 12:36 p.m. Her name is Logan Olivia. She was born...
Isn't Logan a guy's name? Whatever. It's a girl who will grow up without a father. That's where actual daddy issues come from. And you know how girls are who have daddy issues. Oh man, there's just nothing good that can come out of this. It's just basically impossible. You could say that maybe she will meet a guy, which, as I said, is very unlikely, who will want to be together with somebody who already has a child from a sperm bank, especially. And then he could be the father, but even if you're never gonna take care of somebody else's child as you would of your own, it's just impossible, and most guys don't want to do it at all. You can just never have the same kind of connection with some basically random child. It doesn't matter if you even fall in love with the mother. The child is just not yours.
5 pounds, 11 ounces, 19 inches long. And she's small for her gestational age, but super healthy. And I'm healthy, and I'm just so in love with her, and she's really just the sweetest thing I've ever seen in the world.
Of course, you love your child when your child is born, of course, but how is life gonna be for her? You think about yourself, but why don't you think about the child before you create a child who's going to be with a single mother? That's just not gonna be a so-called nice life for her whatsoever.
And my birth was so wild and awesome. I can't wait to tell that story. It was very dramatic. Think like water breaking all over the floor like in the movies, and showing up to the hospital 10 centimeters dilated, ready to push. It was super fun and crazy. So I'm now in the postpartum.
You shouldn't go to the hospital when you're delivering a child. They pump you full of drugs. They probably already pumped her full of hormones at the fertility clinic before that.
What is it?
And
Yes,
probably
Lord.
also during,
done.
who knows if the child is even actually healthy. Likely
Research
she is not. They give you the toxic vitamin K injections and some other stuff which I won't even mention on YouTube.
More work.
It's horrible.
Ready to work. Upgrade unit. Job's done.
She does look small. Of course you could say genetics, whatever.
What is it?
What is she going to feed her? Does she produce breast milk? I hope that she will at least breastfeed a child for a very long time, over a year at least. If she will give her a formula, then it's completely done. The life is ruined.
Job's done. Our allied town is under siege.
Thank you for your support, kind messages. Even though I can't respond right now, I'm reading them all and appreciate it.
More work. Our forces are under attack. Our allies.
Michelle, thank you for including us on your journey.
Yes, my lord. More work.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. They can, wait, what? You have inspired so many women that they can do this. No, you shouldn't be doing this. She's going to have the best mom to look up to. I'm not saying that the mother is bad as such. It was a bad idea in general, a super unnatural idea, but
What?
she may try her best. It's just that her best will still always be bad because it's her
What is it?
alone.
My lord. What is it?
What you can achieve as a woman, you shouldn't be able to achieve this at all. You can't achieve this naturally.
Allies town is under
Can't wait to
siege.
hear about your birth and watch you flourish as a mom.
Yes, my lord. What? More
Yeah,
work
whatever.
to work.
It's just a bunch of women not even realizing what they are doing to the children. Come on, seriously, you're just traumatizing a new generation. How is this even a thing? She's gorgeous. She really looks kind of underweight, I gotta say.
Job's done.
Oh,
Our
another
forces are
one?
under
Oh my
attack,
god.
lord.
What is this thing, man? I didn't even know that there's a community like this.
Our
You're
allies
glowing,
town
baby
is
girl.
under
The
siege.
cutest. Thank you so much for
Right
sharing.
there.
Dream.
Off I go
Well, her
then.
dream was
Yes,
to
my
have
lord.
a
What?
family
Yes,
with a
what
man.
is it?
This wasn't actually her dream, to be fair.
What is it done? Yes,
Take
my
care of
lord.
yourself.
Job's done.
It's just the same garbage. I understand that there's people out there, even guys, who for whatever reason couldn't have children. They now want to adopt children or become single mothers through a sperm bank. I get all of that,
Off I go then.
but you really have to think about the child, because the child is a part of you, and in this case,
Job's done.
part of somebody anonymous also. It's strange.
Work. Our allies
Okay,
are
the father doesn't care about the child. He doesn't know that the child exists, most likely. But you do, and because this is a part of you, you should really think about it. Did you have both of your parents? Was it not great? Or did you maybe not have both of your parents? Maybe you didn't have a father who knows about her story. Are you gonna do the same to your child now? How did you end up? Did you end up sleeping with a lot of guys? Never being able to actually create a bond with a guy. Do you want the same for your daughter? Would it not be more wise to actually find a husband? I don't promote religions in any way at all, but in this case, wouldn't it maybe, just maybe I'm wrong, be good to find a Christian father, somebody who at least values family? I'm totally against religions, but in this case, for her, wouldn't that maybe have been a better idea? And then you will have somebody who's loyal, who, because of the religion, actually believes in the value of families, instead of going to a sperm bank. I just can't imagine that this is going to end up well for the child. Maybe she will get some kind of love from the child, seeing as children attach to who is around. They just attach to anybody, and that's how it's actually supposed to be. You attach to your family, of course. She will feel this so-called love from the child, but is the child really gonna feel the love that it's naturally supposed to from one parent? Especially if she's going to be sort of stressed from the work, because she's going to be alone. People often say that having children is selfish.
Off I go then.
Selfish, of course, really just means that you do something for yourself, and we all look out for our own survival in the first place. And having children would essentially be the definition of being selfish, which is great naturally. You produce other versions of yourself. That's the definition of selfish. If anything, there's nothing wrong with it. It's actually very right and correct to do that. But in this case, if you mean being more focused on your own needs only and not thinking about the children, if that's how you would define being selfish, then I would say yes, this is only caring about yourself and not really thinking about the future of your child, which is you. You're essentially destroying the future of the other version of yourself by doing this. Thanks for watching.
Alright, our allied town is under siege. Ready to work. Job done.
Καλώς ήρθατε σε ένα ακόμα επεισόδιο 2 αλήθειες και ένα ψέμα από το Flex Drive της Auto Elas Hertz.
Hey guys, as requested by a lot of you, I'm going to review another video by Sam Selleck. It's this bodybuilder that YouTube keeps pushing. He has these very long and incredibly boring videos. Nobody would be watching him, but because YouTube keeps pushing him by suggesting his videos to everybody, he actually has a lot of views, which motivates him to create more videos, seeing as he earns a lot of money by creating these videos. He's very sick, he has pus coming out of everywhere. He's around 21 years old, looks like he's in his 30s, if not even 40s. He's one of the sickest people on YouTube, and he has no idea that he's a perfect tool for the agenda. He promotes going to the gym and taking drugs. The gym alone is bad enough, seeing as it makes you incredibly unhealthy and reduces your lifespan significantly, but on top of that, he's a drug addict, and young, impressionable man who will see him will end up also using drugs, and YouTube actually promotes this. It's amazing. You have to be incredibly blind not to see why they promote him. The drugs will of course not only also reduce your lifespan and make you incredibly sick, but they will also make you infertile, which is perfect.
Can you believe it? Finally back. Oh.
I can't believe that you're again sitting there with a bowl of what looks like cereal and milk. It's the same again.
Finally back to food. So I've already got 3 servings of...
Come on, please wear a tank top. I want to see all of the acne, all of the pus, the drugs and the toxins coming out of your body. Come on. I already see your red tomato face, but I want to see more.
Checks. I was actually kind of disappointed. I was scanning around the kitchen. I was looking for boxes of ice cream. Simple carb. I know some dudes pretty much make the checks over the concern. Just like this rice base. You know, grain or wheat or whatever. That's, to me, I'm looking at 120 grams of carbs. There's like 3 grams of fat. I mean, that's actually not true. It's about
all of it is absolute garbage. It's absolute slave food. You have to be incredibly dumb to eat something like cereal. It's so insanely toxic to your body. It actually literally makes you infertile. There's glyphosate, all kinds of other pesticides, so many toxins, anti-nutrients, rice has arsenic.
Do not even think about skipping. Like, I just looked up the nutrition label, right? Per serving 1 gram of fat in those dry checks. Don't just skip over that. That's the absolute worst mistake you can do. In a bulking complex, it's not bad, right? Because, of course, you'd be eating more food than you would track. But if you're trying to diet down, any amount of ketchup you get, that's 3 grams of carbs. Any amount of extra oil you put in the pan when you make eggs, that's 5 grams. You know.
That's not true, because if he's talking about seed oils, plant oils, you can't actually digest and absorb these plant oils, seeing as your body is made out of saturated animal fat. If you believe that you're gonna get this specific amount of calories from plant oils, then you're incredibly mistaken. You will probably get 20 to 30% of what's on the package, depending on what oil it is.
Not not style, but maybe theory. Calories is the #1 factor, right? Because you gotta remember, I could eat as perfect food as I want, train as hard as I want for years on end. But if I don't eat enough calories to be in the calorie surplus, to actually deposit mass, but primarily muscle, onto my frame, I'm not going to get anywhere. I mean, I'll look like a freak, but I'll still be too bloated. You know, the only way to actually gain weight is to eat calories in excess.
No, that's not true. The only way to gain this much unnatural weight is to use drugs. There's no other way. Seeing as you have an unnatural body, you look like an absolute freak. No woman on earth would find you attractive. It's completely impossible, literally. And I don't mean 1 or 2, I mean literally 0 women on earth. It's just because his body is so far away from how you're naturally supposed to look like that it's impossible to find him in any way attractive, and because he's not good looking obviously in general, but also because of all of the acne, he has one of the most unappealing bodies on earth. Yet there's probably men out there who believe, oh yeah, I just need to go to the gym if I'm short or ugly, and then women will find me attractive. No, they will find you even more unattractive.
Oh, your body's broken, and vice versa is apparently a hard truth. And from some like TikTok freakout videos I see, apparently it's a argued truth. But the only way to lose body fat again, same thing with course, less calories than your body burns per day, aka a calorie deficit. Apart from that, I'm really trying to get in tons of carbs, you know, my 250 grams protein-ish. I kind of stay around a gram per pound. Right, so right.
The carbs signal for insulin to be released. Carbs are simply sugar. Of course, he will be diabetic eventually. And it's great for bodybuilding, sure, but it's also very great for aging your body rapidly. That's why you look so old, and a lot of bodybuilders even inject insulin on top of eating a lot of carbohydrates. That and the drugs is the main reason why they look so super old.
Our forces are under attack.
I need those movies. I think 5 serving. As long as that's up. The 100 protein, 10 grams fat.
Does he really not realize that from cooked meat you get a lot less protein? It's of course not bioavailable anymore. Most people understand this. If you look at how much protein a steak has, then what they mean is the raw steak, if you eat raw meat. A cooked steak has maybe 60% of that at best, and that meat looks very overcooked, probably more like 40-50%. And the mashed potatoes, again, just carbohydrates, some oxalates. His meals are overall terrible.
And then this is going to be about 90 grams of carbs, maybe 14 grams of fat, if I remember right. But, you know, that's about...
Again, of course, less because of the starch. It's not easily digested. And is that a microphone by his head here? Is that a Bluetooth microphone? I don't know, but if it is, you have to be incredibly dumb to have Bluetooth next to your head, your brain. Come on, man. Just read anything about that. It completely destroys your brain cells. Not that there's many left there.
Ideally, the best lifts are the ones where it's kind of just happens. Well, I walk in and then it doesn't back up wrong. You know? So, we'll see if we get something like that.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Job done. I feel like I always start with this machine on hamstrings whenever I'm at this specific gym. And this isn't anything incredibly fancy. You could recreate this just by standing on the leg extension at your gym backwards. And honestly, it's a pretty comparable feeling. I'd say this is maybe a little bit better, just because it's specifically designed to be used this way. So let me actually lower this one notch. But
training your legs is the most useless thing you could possibly do at the gym, seeing as the muscles that you train would never be used in nature, especially the guys who do leg press. You lay or sit there and actually press huge amounts of weights with your legs. That would never in a million years be done in nature, and then you walk around with these huge wobbling legs which just make you slow. That's it, you just look like a freak. It's incredibly abnormal, and you reduce your lifespan significantly just to have legs that really make you disabled, essentially. It's severe torture. He hates it, literally. You can see and hear that. But he still keeps doing it, and people who hate themselves, who see no meaning to their lives, and so on, depressed people who you should really not be taking any advice from, are the ones who do this. Nobody else does this kind of garbage, especially to this extreme.
Job done. Our town is under siege. Job done.
There's just absolutely no purpose to this whatsoever. Oh my god.
What? If you want. That's it. I'm dead. Job done.
Oh my god. This is incredible stress for the body. It really doesn't get much worse. It's one of the most, if not the most stressful thing that slaves do. They go to a man-made building full of slaves, and then they use these machines created for slaves, and then all that they do there is reduce their lifespan significantly by decades by lifting man-made metal for no reason at all. And then they go back home, their testosterone is obviously super low, which is why they need the drugs, seeing as you use up the testosterone for the workouts. That's why people who go to the gym have way lower testosterone than people who don't. Obviously, as proven in studies, also that's needless to say, hopefully. They can't perform in bed anymore, they sleep 12 to 13 hours a day. All signs of low testosterone, they are very depressed. All of the people who stop going to the gym right away say how much higher their testosterone is, how much better they feel overall. It's just something that you don't remember anymore when you go to the gym for even a few months, but most definitely for a few years. You just go, you completely forget how good you felt before you went to the gym, and then when you stop, you're just like, wow, this is how terrible I felt all of these years. Oh my god, I completely forgot how good life is, how high my testosterone is again and everything once I stopped going to the gym. Okay.
One more like that.
Yeah.
A little heavier.
People from 100 years ago would literally believe that he has some kind of severe mental illness. I don't just say that, that's actually how it would be. It's just because most people on Earth nowadays have mental issues. They don't really see it because when mentally ill people look at other mentally ill people, they don't of course see that there's issues.
Making use of my surroundings. I'm getting some assistance.
Oh, that looks so incredibly bad for the joints. He's gonna have such terrible knee problems for sure. He probably already has. A lot of the so-called bodybuilders, body destroyers, never talk to their audience about the problems they are having, except for later on when they are already in a wheelchair or when they quit going to the gym. Then they admit it. His face is also incredibly red. It always is, but now, especially because of the insane stress, it's absolute torture, very severe torture. I can't anymore. He's such a joke, but he has no idea that he's such a joke. And he would probably go to other guys and say, hey, look, I lifted so many weights for no reason, some man-made metal. And then he can compare himself to the other slaves and say, hey, I lift this much. Can you lift this much man-made metal in this man-made building together with the other slaves? Oh, I can. I look up to you. You can lift more man-made metal for no reason, just to reduce your lifespan, like a slave who fell for the agenda. And that's how these slaves compare themselves to each other, and they just have no idea. They're so oblivious as to what they are doing. And all that this is a code. It's what NPCs do. They can't think for themselves, obviously. They just do something that the media tells them to do. All of this comes from the media. And they code because in nature they would be doing something completely else. But because they are not allowed to do this, their lives are meaningless. What's up with that cringy
One
guy
more,
there?
at least.
I can't watch this anymore.
So let's roll these bad boys up. You can see how the legs are looking at me.
Looks very drugged up.
Oh, should I gotta stand right between the fucking pole? I like it.
I think that you wouldn't be able to run even as fast as a 4-year-old child. You wouldn't be able to do anything that you're naturally supposed to with your body.
Certainly not nothing. Oh, this is that line of separation between quad and hamstring.
If you would set this guy out in nature, he would be dead within days because he wouldn't be able to do anything. Just nothing at all.
Basic premise, 12 ounces of underweight, 2 packs of chicken ramen, so 100-ish grams of carbs right here, 14 of fat, 75
More glyphosate to make him fertile, not that he needs anything more to make him fertile anyway. And again, just empty carbohydrates, absolutely no micronutrients at all. Actually, because his steaks are so overcooked, he doesn't actually get really any micronutrients almost at all, because the water-soluble vitamins, the B vitamins and vitamin C are very heat sensitive. All of them are destroyed. What else is there?
protein. I think I said 10, but I actually go back and change it. It's probably like at least 17 grams of fat. So I'll add that up. Put it over.
If there's some fat in the meat, then he's getting maybe some fat-soluble vitamins which are not destroyed by the heat, but very few. He's most definitely very micronutrient deficient. In the other video that I reviewed, he took some pills, powders. He probably believes that that's how he will get the micronutrients, but he just doesn't realize that those are not bioavailable, that they are synthetic, that you don't actually get anything out of those drugs. It's just drugs on top of drugs.
But not like crazy treats today. Though, when it comes to the actual kinds of foods I'm eating, the most I do fats are going to have the proteins in it. But protein's a little different. I do definitely put a lot of emphasis on
You're definitely not, maybe 150 grams maximum, possibly less. That's because the food is so overcooked. If you actually want proper protein, eat like the old bodybuilders used to do. Eat raw meat and pop in a lot of raw eggs.
I'll make sure that every gram of 250 that's where you can see chicken, steak, eggs, probably other meats.
Eggs don't have all of the amino acids.
But lower on the scale, you're going to start seeing more vegetable proteins, soy nuts, wheat proteins, barley proteins, things along those lines. And that's why I'm not going to really count the protein in bread or the protein in... I'm trying to think what else.
Okay, that's correct. The only thing he's right about.
Right, the protein in a bowl of cereal after breakfast, it says 3 grams of protein. You want protein, amino acid array.
There's no freaking protein in that garbage. Gluten, for example, is counted as a protein which is indigestible.
Right. Everybody's heard the term complete protein thrown around. So that's, I mean, best case scenario, that's in the meats. So any vegetarians or vegans, even worse, not in terms of ethics, values,
There's no need to try to appeal to vegans and vegetarians. We all know that they are dumb slaves.
I'm not gonna say it's
A huge disadvantage. Come on, just say it how it is. Don't try to appeal to everybody.
not good to do your soy proteins or whatever. Let's say tofu. It's gonna spike your estrogen. It's not
There you go. There's actually people who look up to this guy. A cereal and noodle eating drug addict who's reducing his lifespan significantly by lifting man-made metal and competing with other slaves in a man-made building for absolutely no reason. He's simply too brainwashed to even realize what he's doing, and the people who watch his videos have also no idea why he's doing that or why other people even follow him, seeing as I said, YouTube is pushing him. They are not conscious of what's really going on. It's just that when social media promotes something, people latch on to it, whatever it is. And when young men, especially the ones who don't have a father, see it, seeing as they need somebody to look up to, and a lot of guys grow up without fathers today, they will watch it. They will just believe that that's what they have to do to maybe impress other guys, maybe girls, which is absolutely delusional. And they will just do it because it's trendy. It's just what you do. If YouTube promotes it, then that's just what I have to do. Look, this guy has a lot of views. It must be something that somebody is into. It must have some kind of meaning, but it doesn't. It's just that YouTube pushes it. They are using him as a tool to promote an agenda. That's what they do with all of the YouTubers who post meaningless but self-destructive content. They are not conscious of it. They keep making these videos because they keep getting views. They believe that it appeals to people, even though in reality they just watch it because YouTube is pushing it, not because people are really into it. They just, as I said, latch on to anything. That way the creator is of course motivated to create more videos, and people watch it because it's trendy. They could create anything. There's been so many self-destructive trends that they put out in the last decade especially, and nobody is able to see through it except for me. Thanks for watching.
Γευστικό πρωινό με φυτικά ροφήματα αλπροχωρίζα. Απόλαυσέ το με τον τρόπο σου.
I solemnly swear that when we do these personality tests, I will give my honest answers in good faith. I will not give the answers that I think will output a result that will signal positive things to my audience just to use as a badge of honor. I will say my real opinion, I swear.
Our forces are under attack.
Harry Potter reference? It's not a Harry Potter. Is there a Harry Potter reference in the test? Because I promise you, I will not be referencing Harry Potter. In fact, I went to this website earlier and I hit random, and it gave me Hogwarts house test, and I thought, you know what, we could just play an hour of SAP instead. I said, no. Let's start here. 32 questions on the food disgust test. I am not picky when it comes to different kinds of seafood. Maybe I should like it's not the best decision. I am not like, you see that beautiful. My daughter, by the way, she knows it from she said, Daddy, do you know that there's this kind of cheese called blue cheese? And I said, blue cheese? You mean blue cheese? And she said, no, blue cheese. And then I said, what is blue cheese? And she said, it has lines of blue. It's very sticky. And I was like, this? It's blue cheese. Get it? Okay, say it. I am not picky when it comes to different kinds of seafood. I honestly feel like this might be a strong opinion. I would eat almost any kind of seafood. Now, if you asked me, would you rather eat like a shrimp, or would you rather eat like some kind of mollusk where you're eating like all of its organs in one bite, I would, I guess, but I'll eat an apple alone, I'll eat a shrimp, I'll eat a squid, I don't care. I throw overripe fruit away. I'm gonna give this a mild disagree. I will eat a banana regardless of where it is on the spectrum. It depends on the fruit though. Like a soft apple, like an apple where when you bite in it's like mealy and like a little bit brown on the inside, like those go into the compost bin. But a banana that's a little overripe, I'll give you a slight disagree. I don't mind if a slice of apple has turned slightly brown from being exposed to the air. If you cut an apple and you left the slices on the cutting board for 2 hours, I would eat the slice after 2 hours, no question. I would lose my appetite if I found a little snail in my salad. Agree 100%. That's never happened to me, but if I was eating food and I saw a bug inside of it, I would be like, I don't want to eat this food anymore, no matter how irrational it is. It's totally fine if my friends or acquaintances have touched my food. Given my history with foodborne illness, this might shock you, but I'm answering the questions honestly. Doesn't really bother me. I'm not gonna make my friend put on gloves to, take a bite of my French fries or something.